Everyone, I have your homework here from last night, and I worked out most of the problems on here except about a handful, and I wanted you to just kind of check your work, your progress to see how you did. So for number 1, I did do the area of the parallelogram, base times height. 12 times 7 is 84 meters squared. Number 3, area of a square is S, or side squared. The side length is 3, so 3 squared is 9, and you get 9 centimeters squared. Number 5, the area of a parallelogram is 1/2 times the sum of the bases, so B1 plus B2, times H. So I plugged in 14 and 7 for the base lengths and 7 for the height. And then you can see I simplified inside the parentheses. 14 plus 7 is 21, and then multiplied 1/2 times 21 times 7 and got 73.5 centimeters squared. Number 6 says the base of a triangle is 3 inches and the height is 3 inches longer than the base. What's the area? So I went ahead and drew a triangle. I labeled the base 3. If the height is 3 inches longer than that, we're adding 3 to 3, so that's 6. Formula for area of a triangle again is 1/2 base times height. So I did 1/2 times 3 times 6 and got 9 inches squared. Number 7, area of a triangle, 1/2 base times height. Here we're given the area and asked to find the missing measure, which in this image is the height of the triangle. So I went ahead and substituted 8 in for the base, and I called the height x. Simplifying on the right hand side, 1/2 times 8 is 4. So we have 28 equals 4x, and then you can see dividing by 4 on both sides, and we get x equals 7 centimeters. Our units are not squared here because we're actually finding one of the lengths in the triangle. Number 7, Simone cut out a 72 centimeter squared parallelogram. The height is 12 centimeters. Find the length of the base. So parallelogram area formula is base times height. Plugging 72 in for the area, and I just used B for base and multiplied by 12 the height. Dividing both sides by 12 to get rid of the multiplication. 72 divided by 12 is 6, so we get 6 centimeters for the length of the base. Number 11 was a good one. It gives you the perimeter of a square tent. So remember that with a square, all the side lengths are the same. So if I'm given the perimeter, which is the distance around the outside of the square, I can divide 82 by 4 and get 20.5. So now I know that the side length of the square is 20.5. Area of a square is S squared, so we're going to square 20.5. So 20.5 times 20.5 is 420.25 feet, and this answer should be squared because, again, we're finding area in this one. The last one was a tough one that I did. I did not do number 13, but I did number 12. So I want you to, kind of follow along as I go through this to make sure that it makes sense. So I wrote the area formula for area of a trapezoid, and we were told that the area is 64 centimeters squared. So I plugged 64 in for the area, and then I plugged in 12 for the height and 4 for one of the bases. Since we don't know the other base, I'm calling it x. So now I have kind of this mess over on the right-hand side that I wanted to clean up before I actually start solving the equation. So I took 1/2 of 12. Remember, this is all multiplication, so I can kind of jump around with what I'm multiplying. 1/2 of 12 is 6. So now we're left with 6 times the quantity of 4 plus x. In the next step, I distributed. So I did 6 times 4 and then 6 times x, and that's how I got this next row, or column. 64 equals 24 plus 6x. Then I subtract 24 from both sides, divide both sides by 6, and get x equals 6.6 repeating centimeters. So again, I did not work out all of the questions on the worksheet. You can probably guess which 5 I'm going to grade now that you can see which ones I didn't do. But if you're doing pretty well on what I just went over, or it's starting to make more sense, then hopefully you're doing well on the rest of the worksheet. Please make sure you turn this into the tray.